The Bittersweet Gamer's vacation continues, so now it's time for another Would You Rather video.
What a remarkably frank way to assess the situation. I'm the opinionator?
I'm We Squared.
Brandon Quizzicuk asks, would you rather fight a bear or a bigger bear, but it has diabetes? For reference, the bigger bear is 1.6398 times larger than the first one, and it has type 2 diabetes.
This is the only thing I have to ask. How on earth does a bear get type 2 diabetes? See, if you would have said type...
Too much honey.
If you would have said type 1 diabetes, I would have been like, okay, the bear was born with, like, basically, like, it was gonna develop it. Okay, so it's just a weirdly diabetic bear. But instead, it's an even more weirdly diabetic bear, and it's only 1.6398 times larger. I'm sorry, I would have to fight the diabetic bear.
We have a better chance of survival.
Here's the thing. What the heck kind of bear do you have to be to get type 2 diabetes? And we're assuming that a bear can get type 2 diabetes.
Well, we have to for the premise of the question.
I have no idea if it can or not. But it's like, okay, so it's got to eat a lot of honey. Where is this bear that it has access to so much honey that it can become diabetic? You know, type 2 diabetes takes about like 18 to 20 years for it to actually develop to the point where it's no longer reversible by a change in your diet. So that means this is a 20-year-old bear who has been ingesting enough berries and honey to become diabetic. Okay, so it's like this bear is actually probably a midget bear. Okay, this bear is actually probably like only 1.5 feet tall and is obscenely, grotesquely fat for it to only be 1.6398 times, because otherwise a bear couldn't be in a situation where it could become diabetic. So it's like we're talking about fighting a bear who's going to kill you versus fighting some
who's already almost dead.
What I mean is this bear is going to be so bizarre that its life has got to be so miserable that you should just be able to like jog lightly away to escape this extremely sick, bizarrely fortunate and unfortunate bear. So like come on. It's like that question about would you rather fight like
ant-sized horses or horse? Oh no, chicken-sized horses, like 20 chicken-sized horses or one horse-sized chicken.
Yeah, like, are you kidding? You take the smaller one because you can survive that versus the other one where you will die.
Yeah.
It was ducks, by the way.
Ducks,
a horse-sized duck.
It was a bird.
Or a whole bunch of duck-sized horses.
Yeah.
No, it was the other way around, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so easy. Fight the diabetic bear. Oh, no, running away from it? Oh, yeah, okay. No, running away counts as fighting because I just got to run away from it, but, like, stay close enough that the bear keeps chasing, and then
eventually lure it into the right spot or tire it out.
Yeah, eventually the bear will tire out, and then we can kill it.
Yeah,
or I can kill it. I mean, because
I assume we're not 2-on-1, but
I mean, I'm assuming you're also fighting the mutant diabetic bear.
I'll be fighting my own mutant diabetic bear. Thanks.
Yeah, okay. So
So 2 bears in this really unique situation.
Bring us 2 of these bizarre diabetic bears, so that we may battle them.
I wouldn't want to eat them.
Neither would I. Besides, like, how long has the bear been diabetic? See, it's already going to take 20 years or so for the bear to become diabetic in the first place, but if the bear's been diabetic for another 20 years, meaning it's this decrepit, necrotic, ancient bear that's not going to be capable of moving very well anyway, it's like how many of its limbs have atrophied and fallen off due to poor blood circulation.
Oh God, especially for a bear.
Yeah, so it's like we're talking about some 50, 60-year-old...
Torso bear.
We're talking about like a 50 or 60-year-old bear, which is like, what, 3 times the normal lifespan of a bear?
Yeah.
Or maybe twice. So it's like at that point, I have no idea what a bear's lifespan is. So at that point, we're talking about like
zoologists.
This like fat bear laying on the ground that doesn't even have arms or legs. And like, how do you fight that? Easily is the answer. We put way too much thought into that, but somehow I think that's the point of this.
Dead Gumbler asks, would you rather die right now or live forever? You can't die. Yes, that's what live forever means. Thank you for clarifying that.
No. Specifically, it's not you don't age and are immortal. It's you cannot die.
Ah, I see.
That's easy. A.
Yeah.
Because inevitably, I would want to die.
Yeah.
Inevitably.
Immortality is not... Nope.
And this is... It's not that I particularly want to die, but having true immortality where death is not possible...
is a curse.
That's a curse.
It's a curse.
Like, inevitably, Even if it were something ridiculous like 1,000,000 years later, inevitably you would just want to die. So if those are the only options, die right now.
Yep.
And he asks again, would you rather walk over a 10 feet long spike field, the spikes are so close to one another, typos, that you can't place your feet in between and about 2 feet high, where you can't jump over due to a low ceiling for 3 wishes, or walk over a soft flower field of the same length by paying $5? Would you rather do something obscenely difficult for 3 wishes, or do something extremely easy, but you have to pay $5 for it? So,
A!
Do you want to exert effort or not?
A! Exerting effort for profit? Exerting effort to get a great gains? Yes, that's life, thanks.
How long is this on the table? See, if it's do it right now, then it's like...
My first wish is to heal my feet. There you go.
If you can make it. It's only 10 feet long, though. Like, do you get a chance to practice? Do you get multiple tries? Because if you do...
Well, I think if you're partially across and fall, then that's it for you.
Well, yeah. It's like, for instance, do we get to test how sharp the spikes are? For instance, are they not so sharp that we could just... It's like the bed of nails thing, where if you just... You can learn the technique to do it if your weight is a certain level. So it's like, would I get the chance to find out how sharp the spike is, to see how much pressure I could put on it without it causing any problems, so I can determine how dangerous it is, and then say, go through a process of losing weight in order to get small enough.
Also doesn't say we have to be barefoot.
It's true.
I've got some pretty thick work shoes, you know.
So do I.
If you're careful enough and move slowly enough, I think it wouldn't be too bad of a problem.
I'm just saying, do we get to practice or not? I'm not trying to underestimate it, but it's like, do we get to know or not? Because if it's just do it right away, right now, no take backs, then you know, B is probably the right call. That's what I'd pick anyway. But if we get to work at it a bit, I'm going with A.
Yeah.
So it's all about preparation. If we're allowed to have it A, and otherwise B, although Billy might apparently go A.
I would go A.
Just all the way?
All the way. I'm not going to balk from some difficulty if you're going to give me 3 goddamn wishes. Shithfan asks...
That's Shithfan, by the way?
Shithfan, yes.
Shithfan?
Just to clarify. Shadow the Hedgehog fan. Asks, would you rather have nothing to your name for a year, or have no name for your entire life?
Oh my god!
As in you have no name and cannot be called by your name for the whole... I'll have nothing to my name for a year, thanks.
Yeah. I'm afraid, basically, it's like, would you like to have nothing for a year, or
be nothing,
or have and be nothing forever?
Like, it'd be one thing if you could also have a lot of money to your non-name, but that's not exactly the opposite of what B is not exactly the opposite of A.
Yeah. Sorry, it's A. Is that going to be easy? No. But if you're in that situation where you have to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
How many people have survived like that?
Yeah.
And is that like have nothing to my name for a year, and then after a year I get everything I currently have back, or do I just lose everything I have like forever?
Yeah, I gotta have some clarifications there.
And you know, am I prevented from obtaining things?
Yeah.
Because if I'm prevented from obtaining things, then it might be kind of bad, because it means I can't even don't even have a box in an alley.
And when it says nothing to your name, like, does that mean like you can't gain any fame or notoriety?
I'm not interested in fame or notoriety. I'm interested in food.
I'm just saying, phrasing it like that doesn't necessarily strictly mean like cash.
I'm only concerned about living.
That's fair, yeah.
Okay, because it's like, am I allowed to obtain, say, a corn dog? Can I beg? Because...
Yeah.
Like, panhandling? I mean, look, if I'm in this situation, it's not about whether I'd want to panhandle or not. You know, panhandling, I can deal with panhandling. What about people who would give me things in the event that I lost things?
Like,
would they...
Shelters or something.
Or, like, family.
Yeah. Just go live with your parents for a year.
Is there a reason I can't do that?
Yeah, that wouldn't be nothing.
But even in the starkest way to interpret the question, I'd rather say A, because B means I lose an identity and a way to interact with the world forever. And that's just not acceptable.
Unacceptable.
Gumbler asks again, would you rather invent the time machine or invent, I'm assuming he means invent, teleportation. It just says teleportation.
Right.
I mean, would I rather teleportation?
Well, you already kind of answered that question, but...
Yeah, it'd be B. It'd be B.
Time, you do not want... I would not want to be the one responsible for screwing up time.
Exactly that. What would happen with...
I would much rather open, like, the Wii Squared express transport service or something.
Right. There are fewer negative consequences for civilization because, make no mistake, something like time travel is only going to have negative consequences. Any positive thing that could happen would only be temporary before all the horrible things would happen. So, yes, teleportation, please. Although warfare would become maybe kind of frightening. When has it ever not been? So,
yeah!
I would say that there's really only positive consequences.
Warfare would be far worse with time machines.
Well, it depends on how it works. But that's the thing. It doesn't I'm saying it doesn't even matter how it works.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad regardless.
Sentimani asks, would you rather get a self-refilling bottle of your favorite non-alcoholic beverage, it stays cool and fresh forever, or B, a self-regenerating pizza, it remains hot and fresh forever, but it's simply tomato sauce and cheese?
Very well, who's going first? I guess it's me since you asked a question. Okay, now it's going to be A for me. There's two reasons for this. By the way, does it have to stay cool? What if it's a hot beverage?
I would imagine in the case of that, it wouldn't. Because otherwise
so
that would defeat the purpose. That would defeat the spirit of the question.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be cool. It could be just...
like infinite tea or something.
Okay. Now, deciding what that beverage would be is rough. I mean, it probably shouldn't be coffee because then I'd chug coffee.
And die.
And all day long, and that would be bad. So I guess at that point it would be really good bottled water, which other than the bottled part... I just have filtered water, but I pretty much constantly drink that. You may think it's silly, okay, but
considering the diets we're on, it's vital.
So I mean, soda? Sorry, I don't even like it.
I do like soda, but I can't have it.
So it's like it would be either coffee or water. I mean, since again it's non-alcoholic, but I probably don't want to have regenerating alcohol available because I think most human beings that live would probably become alcoholic and die.
Well, just because we have it doesn't mean we have to use it all the time.
I mean, you're right, but it's like, wouldn't it be better to not have that temptation?
Yes.
And so it's like that's the thing about the coffee too, because. Well, I mean, maybe if it were really good coffee. I just don't want to drink coffee all day long. And really, I really like, say, the taste of, Dasani or some really good water. So I'd be, if I had this, let's find out what the beverages are. Here's why. Because in terms of the self-regenerating pizza. Now, if it were a self-regenerating other type of food, totally. But this thing, tomato sauce and cheese, I'm assuming you're also talking about a crust.
It wouldn't be a pizza otherwise?
Wait a minute. It says it's simply tomato sauce and cheese?
Yeah.
Is there a crust? Okay.
It would have to be. Or it's not a pizza. It's just a pile of tomato sauce and cheese.
Because otherwise I'd take that. The pile of tomato sauce and cheese. Look, I'm also on the keto diet.
Now, to be fair, we could scrape the cheese and tomato stuff off and that should regenerate without eating the crust.
Yeah, but there's no meat.
You're right. Well, in regards to that, I would also pick A, and because of the diet that I am also on, I would also pick water because it is nice and refreshing.
Wow.
Sorry, we're boring.
Yeah, it's just
Look, if we weren't on the keto diet, B wouldn't be so bad.
I'd still take A. It's just tomato sauce and cheese. I have always mocked cheese pizzas my entire life. So why would I want a regenerating cheese pizza? That's a curse, man. It's a curse. I mean, alternately, there's the whole solve world hunger by passing out the pizzas.
Just dole it out.
Maybe that's not in the spirit of the question.
I don't think so.
Well,
plus also, if you have infinite pizza, then your bathroom trips are going to be pretty problematic.
Well, not if you're on keto.
I suppose so.
Do you get the feeling that maybe we like the keto diet? Because we do, actually. I would say that being able to provide an infinite amount of fresh water to the world would be pretty good. Basically, I should be able to become extremely wealthy.
You're right. Just dump it out and just keep collecting the water.
Yeah, selling water to California or something like that. should work out pretty well. And
I think you can still enjoy it because it's self-fulfilling.
Yeah, and like humanitarian stuff too, like provide fresh water, which I think is actually more important than the food.
You're right.
Due to like actual things about world hunger, it's like really the water is more of the problem.
Yeah.
It's more of a distribution thing in terms of food capacity. But anyway, I can't believe how precise we got with that.
I can.
You know, I don't think that was necessarily as funny as I was expecting, but it really turned out to be...
It was interesting, and that's probably more what they were hoping for.
Super thoughtful?
I mean, that's what we do, man.
I suppose it is. Thanks, guys. Keep them coming.